My brother, my sister, this man speaking is a colonialist. This man speaking has lost the good sense of Pan-Africanism. This man called Dr. John Kwakye has descended so lowly into the echelons of colonialism and imperialism. Does he understand what it means to say the currency for a nation? The currency for a nation has the same value as the national flag of the nation. To ever think about abandoning, that is the word, abandoning your national flag is selling out your country for cheap and abandoning it like the Titanic, allowing it to sink into the deepest abyss. I am so disappointed. Now, this man is supposed to be a think tank, right? IEA, Dr. John Kwakye. These are the people who owe allegiance to the West. These are the people who will sell out their own country. My brother, my sister, listen to what Dr. John Kwakye is saying. Our city has dwindled so low. Inflation is so rife. It has become almost useless. For that matter, can we abandon it and dollarize the economy? It's in the same vein as saying, please, let's allow the West to recolonize us. Now, when a country gains independence, the very first thing it does, in fact, is simultaneous. It's a flag and a currency. True or false? When a nation gains independence, the first thing it does is to grab a new flag. Number two, a new currency. And some of the time, it even changes its name. In other words, it's dissociating itself in toto, right from the head all the way down to the treble. My brother, my sister, from the colonialists, the imperialists. I am so disappointed. A man like this, when you look at him, he's not a little child. He's grown. At least, he would have grown up in the days of Kwame Nkrumah. If not, he would have read a lot about the ideologies of Kwame Nkrumah. The man who is seen as the foremost African, whether you like it or not. My brother, my sister, John Kwakye is not a kindergarten boy. John Kwakye is not a little secondarian. Dr. John Kwakye, he's supposed to be a learned man. I am so disappointed. These are the people who will sell all of us into slavery, all in the name of keeping a certain animal called the economy. My brother, I prefer a very weak Ghanaian currency to a very strong non-Ghanaian currency on the soils of Ghana. What a shame. To some people, it's all about bread and butter. They have no sense of loyalty, no sense of respect and independence. How can you chase out the British and then you want the British pound to come and reign in your country? In this sense, they want the American dollar. How did the Americans keep their dollar afloat? How did they do it? Instead of fighting corruption in the nation that has punctured so many holes in the nation's purse, my brother, my sister, you are thinking about cosmetizing things. This is what is known as cosmeticism. Can I repeat it? Cosmeticism. Hey, you have the problem. You don't deal with the root cause of the problem. What you are dealing with, simply symptoms. That is called cosmeticism. You are applying cosmetics on a festering sore. It's a shame. My brother, my sister. Now let me take you a trip to Zimbabwe, where one of my mentors, Robert Mugabe, lived. I was chosen, handpicked, my brother, my sister, as the international tourism ambassador for Zimbabwe in the days of Robert Mugabe. My brother, I was crowned as such. I was supposed to trumpet the good of Zimbabwe. At the time I entered Zimbabwe, I couldn't even find the Zimbabwean dollar. You know why? Because the whole West had slapped a certain kind of restrictions, my brother, my sister, on Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe couldn't import. Zimbabwe could not do business with the West. And the African Union played the game so dumb, African nations couldn't come together to support an ailing African nation. No, they all dissociated themselves from Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe had no other option in that case but to fall on the American dollar. I found some of the dirtiest dollar notes in the world right there in Zimbabwe. I was so ashamed that I went into the market to buy tomatoes and I had to pay in the American dollar in Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwean dollar was worse than a toilet paper. A man like Mugabe did all he could to stand by the Zimbabwean dollar. The Pan-Africanist that he was. At a point, they even had 1 million Zimbabwean dollar notes, the highest in the world. My brother, my sister, it all couldn't save Zimbabwe because the rest of Africa, my brother, my sister, had thrown Robert Mugabe under the running bus. They had thrown Mugabe right in front of the lion like an ox to be gored. In the case of Mugabe, my brother, my sister, your guess is as good as mine. But where we live in a country, yes, inflation is high. The Ghana cedi is the worst performing currency in the whole of Africa right now. But does that call for the selling out of our dignity, loyalty, and even our heritage? Do you understand what it means to say independence? Do you understand what it means to say the national anthem, the pledge? So because of hunger, you should sell out. Go into the Bible and read the story of the man who sold out his birthright just for food. That is what John Kwakye is. I am so angry. From when I saw this one 2 days ago, I told myself, listen, the so-called think tanks we have in this country are beginning to become so garrulous for nothing. In fact, they are becoming something that I don't want to say on radio. They don't think upstairs now. They think from the stomach. I leave it here. Now the next thing